Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, and welcome to our Legislator Fireside Chats. And I have with me my dear friend from the Evansville area, Senator Vaneta Becker. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
It's good to be with you. You know, I used to see you more when I was in the House and you were in the Senate, and now I'm in the Senate and I don't see you as much.
That's because you're in charge.
That's right. I got a lot of them to worry about.
That's right.
Tell me, Vaneta, and I'm calling you Vaneta, I presume.
Absolutely.
How did you get involved in public service? I mean, what in the world caused you to become a state rep and then become a state senator?
Well, years ago, I was the real estate agent for a group that was looking to set up a domestic violence shelter back in 1980. And then we bought a house and then later got people involved, Roland Echoes and Bill Brooks, to help fund for a newer facility. But at that time, the first time they asked me to run, I said, I can't do that. I can't speak in public. So now they can't shut me up. But, and so I ran in an open seat when Senator Server left Representative Server at that time left the House, went over to the Senate. And one of the first bills, and one of the reasons I got involved, was because of my work with the domestic violence shelter. And at that time, in order for a woman to get protection, to get a restraining order, she had to first file for divorce, which I know sounds archaic now.
Wow.
But she had to. And so the first bill that I carried was a bill that would allow a woman to get a restraining order without first getting a divorce if they were a victim of domestic violence. And it passed the House the first year, but in the Senate, the chairman said, well, Representative Becker, they can just file for divorce if they want a restraining order. I said, yeah, but they shouldn't have to. They need to be protected in the meantime. And so the next year, I think that a coalition against domestic violence had done some education. And so the next year we passed both. And that's really how I got involved. And I was on the board of Albion for 10 years. So, but I also felt like we needed more women to be involved in the process. And, this is Women's History Month, so it's pretty exciting to see all the accomplishments. And you've done quite well, my dear.
Well, I just have followed your lead, Vaneta. You have been such a champion for vulnerable Hoosiers, and you've really pushed me when I was in the House in that area, and really mentored me. And I just appreciate that so much because you have a heart and a compassion for people, and it comes out. And you also are about all things Evansville, and I think people may not even realize that you're one of the legislators that is responsible for USI.
Yeah, that's true.
Being founded.
Yeah, that was one of the bills that I carried back when Greg Server was in the Senate. He introduced it in the Senate, and then I followed it in the House, sponsored it, and it was in '84, and then we had this commission set up through Governor Orr to look at USI's independence, and we finally got it done. And I can remember a former state rep, Dick Dellinger, who stood up on his desk and said, if we can't give them a road, let's at least give them a university.
And now we have both.
And now we have both, that's right.
But about all things Evansville, just a champion and a cheerleader, not just for Evansville, but for those Hoosiers that really are vulnerable, and for mothers and children and people with disabilities. You're just a voice for all of them, and I just can't tell you how much that means to me, and I know to so many other Hoosiers across the state.
Well, I appreciate that, but you kind of come by it naturally yourself. So.
Well, I've had a good mentor. You know what, Senator Becker, can you share with our listeners something about Vaneta that they may not know or that might surprise them?
Well, let's see. I grew up in a single-parent household, and I had 5 brothers and sisters, and my mom was a working mother who struggled very hard, very difficult time for her. And I think that's one reason why I'm more empathetic with people is because of that past history. I was a widow at the age of 25. I think that also gave me a clue into how women have to struggle who do become widows. And I know I had a good friend in the legislature who became a widow after I did, and I was helpful to her because I had been there. And I think those life experiences do certainly make you a different person, a better person, for having, if you can conquer them, if you can do better and remember that life is difficult for everybody in different ways.
So I think you can see why Senator Vaneta Becker is my dear friend and one of my very favorite legislators. Thank you.